Hello, everyone. Welcome to Roseburg Speaker and Storytellers. Again, every Monday morning, 7 a.m. Oregon time. Welcome our guests, Nirvere Randahava and Chitra Lestari from Bali. Amy, you look good. Oh. So let's get started. I would like to just mention a little bit like this. Well, how do you like my background? I want to share this with all member later on. And now we are going to start our meeting. And our Toastmaster of the day today is Gabby. Hi, Gabby. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yay.
Good morning, everybody. I talk about something, photography. Photography is two-way street. It is the art of gaze. More so any other visual art or perception or the word leads or they interpret the information we receive through or a sentence. And mount it according to our values, opinion, ways, thinking, and more. This is how our eyes see before the photographic shot that which surrounds us or conditioned by the idea we think about what to tell all the photograph. Every photograph carry a multitude messages. Some very subjective, but most of them objective. Remember life for the different angle, capturing each moment and imagine is the most incredible thing for all. Whether observing a photograph or thinking it, we can interpret and analyze and decode from multiple points of view can we share. Today, I would like to ask you, what pose you like best for the photograph? What is, okay, okay, Jasmine, Mary? Yeah, good. As the Toastmaster of the day, is my duty to introduce the role barriers, how will assist me in the running of today's season. To track the good and not so good usage of grammar, we have the grammarian of the day, and she's Aju and Daya. The screen is yours, Aju.
Thank you, Gabby. Thank you very much for introducing me as the grammarian of the day. So everybody, one of my duty is to share the word of the day, and I just put it in the chat. The word of the day is memory. It's a noun, and one of the definition is the faculty by which the mind stores and remembers information. And one of the example in the sentence is, I have a great memory of my child. I'm sorry, I put it wrong there. I have a great memory of my childhood. I invite everyone to use the word of the day as many as you can, and I will count it and report it at the end of the meeting. That's the first one, word of the day. Then the second one, I will take notes of beautiful languages that we use during the meeting. That is the two main points that I will do. I doubt that we will have a grammar mistake, but if we do some, then I will point it out and try to say something about that. Well, that's my duty, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Gabby.
Thank you so much, Aju. The next, to keep track to the or arms during in the meeting, we have the counter of the day. She is Alice. Welcome, Alice. The screen is yours.
Thank you, Gabby. Ra ah 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 ah, Roma oh mama ra ah 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 ah. Sometimes it's bad romance. Sometimes the as and the s we speak become a bad romance for our speeches. Today I will count for these as and this and your filler words. Ah 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 ah, Roma oh mama ah 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 ah. Thank you.
It's so funny, Alice. Thank you, thank you. To keep track of the time spent by each speaker, please help me welcome the timer for today's meeting. She is Mary Pearson. The screen is yours, Mary.
Thank you. Yeah. I would like to show you my screen at my purpose as a timer is to give a range, a visual range of time when people are asked to speak. For the prepared speeches, it will be 5 to 7 minutes. And so speakers, you want to try and keep in that range. And to give some visual cues, we have a background. So at 5 minutes, I'll have the green. At 6 minutes, the yellow. And then at 7 minutes, the red. Now we have a section of our meeting, table topics, the impromptu speaking, where the responses should be between 1 and 2 minutes. So at 1 minute, I'll have the green. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, the yellow. And then at 2 minutes, the red. And the last portion of our meeting that I time is the evaluators to give their feedback to the speakers. And they are given 2 to 3 minutes to do that. So at 2 minutes, the green. At 2.5, the yellow. And at 3 minutes, the red. And so we will do that. I don't have that thing that you had, the boom. You want to keep it within a 30-second range before or after, but you'd like to keep it before you get through to the red. You want to finish up, but I'll just maybe kind of wave my hands if it goes 30 minutes short or I mean 30 minutes beyond, 30 seconds beyond. Sorry. Back to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you. For benefit of the guests, I would like to explain the structure of the meeting. The meeting is divided into 3 rounds. The first is the round of preparing speeches, where members we give speeches based on different topics or themes. The second part of the season is the table topic led by Tiger McAndy, where members can thinking or speaking. Guests can participate in this round. The third and the last part of the evaluation round is which all the speakers, as well as other aspects of the season, will be evaluated by the general evaluator. I forgot one point. It's my privilege and pleasure the welcome to the general evaluator. Rukaya, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. My role will be evaluating the whole meeting at the end, and I'll give my reviews on how the meeting went, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rukaya. Thank you so much. We have the first speaker for this round. For this round is Charlie Sasmendi. Her speech name High Mountain. Please help me welcome her.
Thank you, Gabby. Okay, yes, my speech is about high mountain. Okay, since I was a child, I wanted to climb a mountain. I lived in Morelos, near two volcans. This is Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl. Popocatépetl has a height of 5,426 meters, and Iztaccíhuatl has a height of 5,230 meters. So most of the time when I saw these two volcans, I dreamed to be at the summit. In a summit, but one a day, maybe 5 years, no, maybe 7 years ago, a friend told me that she lived with me in my home, and she told me, "Do you want to go to Iztaccíhuatl?" And I say, "Wow, yes, of course, it is my dream." But I didn't know anything about this. So she tried to explain me what kind of clothes, what shoes to use, all the stuff about it. And we started to run every morning, 1 week before to go to Iztaccíhuatl. And of course, she trying to explain me all about this, what kind of clothes, and she led me a backpack. Okay, and then the day comes to go to Iztaccíhuatl. And when we was in the base of the Iztaccíhuatl, she told me, "Oh, I forgot to tell you that you need trekking pole." And I said, "What?" She said, "Don't worry, I will let you one." Okay, and as can you see here, she has one and I have one. Okay, well, go. I start to walk, and later, like 5 hours walking, we saw in front of me a rock wall, and we started to climb on the rock. But suddenly I felt like I felt like that fell down back, because also for the heavy or the back. So I felt like I to go to behind me, and behind of me there was nothing, and I felt that well, and I wanted to be as a Wolverine, to have clouds and grab in the rock and deep in the rock, but what's okay, it's terrible. This was like this, and like you can see, this part of the rock, this was that we have to climb. But well, okay, we continue, and we arrive at the base of the first base of Iztaccíhuatl. This we didn't go until the summit, just here that it has a height of 507,018 meters. Of course, well, and then I say, well, one of the things that I learned in this trip was, first, to appreciate my life, of course, because I felt that I lost it, and also that I needed to take a course to know how to go in a high mountain. So, and my friend told me that she took a course. So I searched, and I decided to take this course at the University of Mexico, that it's UNAM. It's it's one of the best university in Mexico, that it's for government university. And okay, I say, well, I will take this course. And this course they told me, if you want to take a high mountain, you need to take the basic course. And this basic course has to five fields. Okay, he said, but why I need to take, if I only want to take the course of high mountain? No, you need to take the basic course. Okay, this course consists in 5 areas: trekking, climbing rocks, canyon, speleology, and high mountain. Okay, in trekking, I learned how to use the compass, what equipment I need, all the stuff for all the areas. Okay, then when I come and took the second course, climbing rock, I say, well, I didn't know about this. And it's something like this, that you climb in a rock and you need to help the help with another person. And I say, no, I try to do my best alone. I don't need that somebody else help me. And I try to do. And of course, the result was so frustrated. And one an apartment told me, why did you do that? They are helping. So let's do that. They help you and enjoy that. And I said, yes, she's right. So I decided that somebody else helped me and enjoyed it. Of course, the result was that I could climbing. And I enjoyed it so much that, well, I took the other course. At the end, I took the high mountain, and the last part of this was to go to Iztaccíhuatl, and I faced again to climb a rock. Oh, and that was something like that I took like 40 minutes to climbing to these kind of rocks. And I love it and enjoy it so much that I felt like it was a piece of cake for me, because I took the course, and most of the time I wanted that all the path was a rock. But in that case, finally, we go at the summit. So, and conclusion is that if I am maybe in a field, I need to take a course. I appreciate my life, and also I learned that I have to trust in my team and let me to help for others. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michelle. This excellent speech, and that speech that led me reflecting about this activity. Thank you so much. The second speaker for this round is Nevar, and it's the pronunciation, the name, Nivar Rondahawa. Please help me to welcome her. Good luck. The screen is yours.
Where's the timer? Who is the timer?
Mary.
Oh, okay. Okay, Mary, thank you. I can see her now. All right.
Mary, we cannot see your head.
Can you see me? Oh,
We cannot see
hang
your head.
on, please. Hang on. Okay.
Oh, still the same. Actually, I'm rushing in from another meeting. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Take your time and
Sorry. Okay, I hope, oh no, it's not helping either. Can I sit and give my speech?
yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
Because you see, I was playing a role in a different meeting and I've not been able to put my desktop on elevated. I've not been able to elevate it.
This is better. This is good.
I think
Okay.
this is better.
Yeah.
This is better. Ah, thank you. Thank you very much. In the month of Halloween, my school decided to have a campfire under the girls' brigade. Remember, never step onto forbidden territories. Ladies and gentlemen, do you agree with this code? If you do agree, follow me on my journey. In the month of Halloween, a yearly campfire, I pleaded with my mom to allow me to go. My mom was adamant in allowing me to go. However, my daily pleadings, she gave in, but with the warning that I have to be back home early. I put on my Girl Guides uniform with great pride, with a striking yellow tie, feeling on top of the world. I started my long march to school. I came from a family where cars were not within my family's affordability. All my trips to school and errands were done on foot. It was a 40-minute walk from my house to the school. In the merriment at the campsite, I lost track of time. But when it was time to go home, the promises that I made to my mother came flooding back into my memory. I was petrified of my mom's rage. However, I started my long walk home along the creepy, dark, lonely roads, totally oblivious to the snatch thief, rapists, and robbers. I meandered my way through the sleepy neighborhoods. Occasionally, I was greeted by ferocious dogs. Pin drop silence in the middle of the night is a disturbing factor. I finally reached home, only to be greeted by a tight slap from my mother. I still remember the speed and the intensity of that slap until today. She was mad with rage. Is this the time to come back home? She repeated. The rest is history. As my mom's verbal lashings died down, I went to bed into a deep slumber. In the night, I got up feeling extremely cold. I was feeling so cold that I pulled my blanket. It didn't help. I remember that my mother had kept my grandmother's knee-length woolen socks in a box in the storeroom. I gathered myself up with courage, trembling and shivering from the cold. Remember, it's a tropical country, it's hot here, and made my way to the storeroom. As I opened the storeroom door, lo and behold, a face that could launch 1,000 ships greeted me. A smile
that was so provocating that it provoked the erotic inner beings of me. The extraordinary handsome face beckoned me to come forward. I was overcome by sudden fear. There was a sudden shift. I was rooted to the ground. As all hell broke loose, I screamed at the top of my voice and ran to my parents' room. I was inconsolable. When I regained my composure, I explained to my father that I had seen a human head without a body in the storeroom. My father searched the whole house in vain, but nothing was found. The very next day, I was down with a very high fever. My mother knew at once something was very wrong. She took me to a medium, an exorcism ceremony was performed, and the medium told my mother that a spirit had followed me home. And immediately my thoughts went to the night of the campfire, where I had walked along a cemetery in the month of Halloween. Do you agree with me that the supernatural beings coexist in this world with us, tucked away safely in their mysterious, mystical place? I took a long time to heal myself from this ordeal. However, I found something that night that was God. I found God that night, so that I am shielded and secured by a shield from uninvited guests and uninvited intruders. I feel safe. I feel good. That was a tragedy that night. I didn't die that night from extreme fear. So if you believe, agree with me that the supernatural being coexists in this world, among us, within us, type a yes in the chat box. The choice is yours. Thank you. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster.
Thank you, Niver. The first speech, you did an excellent speech. Congratulations. Okay, the next round is table topics. To offer us the challenge of today's table topic round, we have the thematic table who will lead today's season. Please help me to welcome the table topic teacher of the day, Tiger McAndy. Welcome. The screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Miss Toastmaster of the day. Is anybody in a deep slumber? Wake up. Wow, the visual descriptions in that speech were incredible. Photography. We are going to have a table topic session based around photography. My photography. I will show a picture. Your job is to speak about that photograph for 1 to 2 minutes. My first participant is going to be Amy. And being that I know Amy is a natural lover, I am going to use this photograph of a very famous mountain called Mount Hood in Oregon. Amy, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Tiger. This brings me back to the time when I was trekking in Mount Hood in Oregon. And as Michelle had told us in her story, I too had forgotten my hiking sticks. So I thankfully, like herself, had a friend who was far more organized and had brought hers. So we both hiked along with our single stick, and it's cold, as you can see in the picture. So thankfully we brought some layers with us to ensure that as we went along, although we would heat up with the energy we were using as we were walking, you know, we had to keep warm. We really understood how big this mountain was, because we had no idea what we were doing. We just landed in Oregon and we said, let's climb the mountain. We looked at a picture and we thought it'd be really easy. And of course, obviously not underestimating it. We went along and we got about as far as the first little bump you see there. And that took us the best part of a day. And at the end of that, we realized that we couldn't camp because it was really cold and we hadn't brought any camping gear. And we'd have to give up our mission to try hike this mountain, possibly go off and return into Oregon, the town that we were just recently visiting, and visit some of the lovely sites that it had to offer. I don't know what the town is itself. But we did this. So we went back and we had our tail between our legs, knowing that we would never reach the full summit of the mountain, but we can dream and we can hope to come back and climb it with better training. Again, all taking inspiration from Michelle's story today. Very motivating to hear it, and it completely ties in with my table topic. Thank you for bringing back this lovely memory, Tiger.
And nice use of the word of the day, which I forgot to put into my table topic challenge. Please try to include the word of the day, which is memory. This is, by the way, the most climbed mountain in North America. And there's a reason for that, because there's a ski resort and there's a chairlift that takes you up about 2/3 of the way. Not to say it's easy. I've climbed this thing and it's not easy. You leave at 4 o'clock in the morning, you get up there about noon. And by the time you get back, you're quite tired. Great view up there. I think it's time to bring a guest into table topics. And I see a guest smiling. So Citra, you are next. Now let's find a photograph for Citra. Citra, you look like an ocean person.
Yeah.
This is called Bandon Beach in Oregon, but this could be a beach anywhere in the world. It's all yours.
Okay. I think I'm going to talk about the beach in Bali, yeah? So it's easier for me to relate. Yeah.
Thumbs
Okay.
up.
Beach. Who doesn't love going to the beach? We can feel the heat from the sun. We can feel the breezes by the time we take our breath, and also the salt, the water. What I enjoy most in the beach is to see the sunset. I love going to the beach because in Bali there's so many beaches options. I can go from the southern area, north area. There's so many options. I could go to the beach near the mountains, near the cliff. The most beautiful beach to me is located in Nusa Dua. If you happen to go to Nusa Dua, it's actually in the southern part of Bali, where you can see the sunrise. And the place that I usually went to is Sama Bay Beach. The beautiful part is because of the clear and pristine water. The memory of me going there with my parents, with my friends, are very lovable. So every time I went and go to the beach, I always remember the great memory that we had while we eat jagung, corn, the grilled corn, and also had some fish That was actually a nice and fond memory that I always makes me back to the beach every time I feel like stressed at work. So I also remember, oh, I can go to the beach in this weekend to get the sunshine, to get the breezes, to get everything what I love from the beach, the sunset, the sunrise. I think that's it. Thank you.
Wow, another excellent use of the word of the day. That was fantastic. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Kevin, Mr. Kevin, are you available for a table topic question?
Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Are you ready? Are you ready for
Yeah, go
our
ahead.
table topics question? Okay.
Sure.
All right. For Kevin, I don't mean to go negative on you, Kevin, but I want you to talk about this photograph, which, as you can probably tell, is the remains of part of our national forest. It's all yours, buddy.
Yes. Unfortunately, fire season to me is one of the worst depressing periods of, I don't look forward to fire season because of the smoke, the haze, the heat, the dryness. It's just not comfortable at all. And just imagine what the firefighters have to go through and the National Guard to put out the fire and mop up all that. And especially the aftermath. It's just not a very pleasant scene. And it's just too unfortunate that it takes so long for our forests to restore, to recover, to be green again. The only positive thing I could see about that scenery right there is that it's not going to ever burn again for a long time. And as if you were a firefighter, that would be the place to retreat. If there was a large, huge fire around you and you needed a place for safety, that depressing scene right there would actually be a safe haven for you because it's already a burned out area. You don't have to worry about it burning again. So anyhow, I'm sorry about this distraction, but that's really all I have to say. Unfortunately, we have to deal with it every summer, but when it starts to rain and we start to look forward to fall, we don't have to worry about that heat, the dry, and the haze and the smoke, and it all goes away. So back to you there, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Kevin. This is what our forests looked like before they burned, by the way.
Yeah.
I was thinking that Kevin, being in the National Guard, had probably been on forest fire duty. I'm sure at one time or another you probably were. Thank you so much, Kevin. Well, let's see. Who else do we have that we can pick on? I mean, get us to participate. How about Yasmin, our VPE? Now, for Yasmin, I got to come up with a challenging photo. Oh, yeah, I got the perfect one for Yasmin. Here we go. A bridge that separates Oregon from Washington. It could be a bridge anywhere in the world, Yasmin. It's all yours.
Thank you very much for the picture and the subject, the bridge that separates Washington and Oregon. A bridge is meant to bridge, not to separate. And this reminds of bridging the distance, bridging things which are apart, which we feel we should bridge. For example, we are all sitting so distant, but we have a bridging platform. This is Toastmaster. We are all, I see all of us sitting for like more than 10 countries at the moment, 3 continents, and we have been bridged by this very platform of Toastmaster. So that's the beauty of bridging. We were bridged together even during the hard time of COVID, and we are bridged together by a common principle and common mission. So build bridges, avoid conflicts, and bridges are not meant for separation. Back to the table topic, Master Tiger.
Thank you, Yasmin. I knew that you would go esoteric on us. Thank you so much for that. That was fun. By the way, under this bridge is a waterfall that got buried by a dam. There's a waterfall under this bridge that is larger than Niagara Falls. Unfortunately, it is now under about 100 feet of water. And it's called, are you ready for this? Our speaker's gonna love this. The Bridge of the Gods. Well, let's see here. Oh, you are thinking you're gonna get away from table topics, but that's not gonna happen, Miss President. So we're gonna put IU. How about, here we go. There you go, IU. This is one of my favorite photographs. It's all yours.
Lily, hi Lily. I know her name is Lily. That's why I call her Lily. Cat is a cat. I am not really a cat person. I'm more to a dog person. I really notice the difference between a dog and a cat. A dog will love to accompany you, and a cat will come to you only when they want to. What a difference. But cat is also very likable, lovable, especially when they try to poke you when they want to be pet. Anyone ever have that before? Hey. And I said, what? Hey. What? Oh, you want something? And I will do something for them. I do have a friend of mine he has 2 cats. One name, let me remember the name, Mr. I'm sorry, I forgot, but both of them is big and fluffy. So in my point, I love cats too. Tiger, for you, we still have Michelle here. Thank you.
All right, Michelle, who finally looks like she's had enough coffee to greet us with her presence. I think for Michelle, we're gonna do something like this. Michelle, 1 to 2 minutes, please try and use the word of the day.
Wow, that sunset photograph just brings back so many memories. I personally, for me, I sometimes am a quandary between sunrise and sunset. They're both so incredibly beautiful and memorable. Every single day when you see the sunrise, like now I can't see it yet because there are clouds, but when you see the sunrise, it reminds me of the fact that we just went through the darkness and now we have the light. But then when I see the sunset, the memory of all the other sunsets in my life, and I can't do the math right now how many sunsets, but definitely hundreds and maybe thousands of sunsets I have been through, and each one brings a memory. I remember The Little Prince. The story by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry of The Little Prince, where the little prince, just like me, loves to watch sunsets. The beauty of it and the memory that it brings out is just so haunting. And one time the little prince came to a planet which was so small that the sunset came almost every hour. And the little prince loved that. And he couldn't understand why other people didn't like the idea of having sunsets every hour on the hour. I personally will pull off the freeway if I'm driving and I see a really beautiful sunset. I'll pull off the freeway and try to take pictures. In fact, if you ever visit my Facebook page, that Facebook cover page is a sunset that I took a picture of several years ago going down I-5, and it was just such a beautiful memory. So sunsets for me evoke memories that would take a much longer speech. But anyway, I love sunsets. So thank you for giving me that joy. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
I think Michelle set a record for the word of the day. As usual, she's a word of the day-aholic. Very nicely done. This guy, this seagull, I took 100 photographs to get one of him. He kept going. I kept click, 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 click. I went, literally, I had about 112 photographs. And I'm like, oh, I got him. I finally got him. And that's the beauty of photography, right? You have to take a lot of pictures in order to get one good one. All right, Alice, we are going to finish with you. You don't have to sing, but you do have to use the word of the day. If you want to sing, I think our guest would love that. Alice, you look like a flower person. The rose. It's all yours. You're muted. I think you're still muted.
These flowers are like a nightmare for me. Why? Because I remember in a concert, after a concert, they had, I have a memory from these flowers. They had offered me some roses, and I have a problem with allergies. And 1 hour after I took these beautiful roses, I was like that monster that she told us before, the speaker that she saw, and she got frightened, and I began to sneeze, apsu. I got to the doctor and to the hospital because I had a very, it was very big problem for me. And flowers, these flowers for me are traumatic. Thank you, Tiger.
Wow, Alice, I was kind of hoping you would sing us a song about how wonderful roses are. I had no idea that you'd had a traumatic experience, but that was a great...
Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit de mots d'amour, de mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose.
It was a close contest, but I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the singer wins. What can I say? The singer wins Table Topic. That was a wonderful session. I appreciate everybody. And I'm going to return this to our Toastmaster of the day. It's all yours.
Thank you, Tiger. You are so fun person. Thank you. The next part of our meeting is an important round. For this, we have the general evaluator to conduct the season. Now I would like to transfer the season to the general evaluator, Rukaya. The screen is yours.
Thank you so much, the Toastmaster of the day. Starting off with you, Gabby, you did a great job as a Toastmaster of the day. You firstly introduced the theme of the day and then introduced all the role takers, which was very precise. You flowed the whole meeting very smoothly, so an excellent job. Moving on, we had two very amazing speeches, and for the comments on today's speeches, we have two particular evaluators to do the same. So I would like to call Amy to evaluate our first speaker, Excel. Amy, the virtual floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. I have the pleasure of stepping in for Kunang and evaluating Michelle on her lovely story today. We had a beautiful visual and verbal journey up a mountain with Michelle. The speech was really rounded in that sense, where we had the words of what she was telling us in the descriptions, and then we also had the accompaniment of all the images that just like helped give that the visual verification. You could really see Michelle's passion as she spoke about this, and like the excitement. And I noticed, like, very quickly into the speech, she just relaxed back and she just started telling us stories. And this, I just really enjoy seeing that, because it takes back the shell of a script, and it just like, you know, you're just listening to someone and you're hearing what they have to say. And for me, it's really pleasurable to hear that in a speech. And you just, when a person's really loosened up, they're just going with it. Yeah, as I said, I found the visual aids were great, and it really helped like see as we were going along. A recommendation I have would be that with the story, you know, there's adventure, there's stuff happening. You're climbing up this mountain, and where there's space to bring something in, like I'd invite you to play with your voice. This is something I have to do all the time because I'm terrible at it. I've got a big flat voice. But play with it a bit and be like, when we were climbing up the mountain and the rocks were there, and I'd like just you give us that emotion and let us know how you're feeling going up, or when you had to do that like cliff hanging, the rock climbing bit, like how did you feel? Was it like to let that come across? I think it would give the story that little bit more just animation and add a third dimension. Overall, there was one other thing, and this it was just a bit of a maybe watch out for the sound seemed to be coming in and out, so at times it was hard to hear. So I think that's just a technical thing to watch out for. Maybe play around with your computer and just check out that. But overall, still able to hear everything. Just had to like listen in a bit harder at times. And overall, with the speech, it was a great speech. I loved, as I said, your natural demeanor as you were telling it, and the moral at the end, you know, that it's worth taking these classes and it's worth learning. We're always learning, and we're learning together and challenging ourselves all the time in life. So thank you very much, Michelle, for sharing this story and those beautiful images and introducing us to this lovely part of Mexico as well.
Thank you so much, Amy, for your evaluation. Now, I would like to call Ms. Yasmin for evaluating our second speaker.
Thank you very much, Ma'am General Evaluator. H for Halloween, H for horror, or H for humor. What do you think? If you agree with me, type yes. The choice is yours. I know you all know this. You have heard this. And this is what I want to bring it to you. If you have to make an impact, you have to invite the audience and you have to engage the audience. And if it is a humor, and a humor which has been woven in poem, in a literary poetic verses, wouldn't it be a fantastic creativity? You all have heard this, you all have witnessed this, and you all have to thank Rivera for the wonderful example of how she helped us learn that even horror can have humor, provided it is delivered in the right pace as she did. It is delivered with the right punches as she did. It's delivered with the same level of confidence as she had. And it is delivered with the same level of clarity. that she had, and nevertheless with a very clear subject towards the end. And if we have to emphasize our message, a prop is always the best idea. As she had the final prop to make us very clearly visualize and understand that what she wants to tell us is that in spite of all these horrors, God is there. And if you trust God, it's going to work for you. So I really want to congratulate her to bring horror, to extract horror, to bring humor out of horror. But nevertheless, I know she's a very advanced speaker, and I know that there is room for her to take it to the next level. And for this, I really want her to work on her drama. She need to escalate the emotions. She need to escalate the way, the tone, the vocal variety she's bringing in. She need a little bit of escalation to it. Just play your beautiful words in more beautiful escalation. For example, the sleepy dog, the sleepy neighbors. Sleepy neighbors, ferocious dogs. Make it just more impactful. Secondly, less is more. You have lots of punches, and at times, as an audience, it's difficult for us to identify which one we should pick up. So if you offer us the most crucial punches and less, and allow us a little bit of time to realize it's a punch through your gesture, it will really be nicer. So whenever you are having a punch, through your expressions or a change, make us feel there is a punch here, or make us feel that there is something we have to catch up here, and allow us that fraction of second. With this, I'm sure this speech is going to really get you to another level. And I really congratulate you for being exemplifying to us a very advanced speech. Thank you, and back to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Ms. Yasmin, for your evaluation. Now, I would like to invite our grammarian of the day, Ms. Ayu Anantya, to let us know about our usage of the language.
Thank you, everyone, for using the word of the day, memory. Those who use the word of the day, memory, are Amy, one time, Chitra, one time, Michelle, as usual, 5, and Alice, 1.
And you have to engage the audience. And if it is a humor,
Ooh, I think, yeah.
Rivera is recording your,
Yes.
yeah, so it's good. And then just in case, if Michelle, if we have a word of the day, sunset, Michelle, you all also use the word sunset 7 times. just to say, just for our information. For beautiful language, I like when Excel say, I want to be the Wolverine and have claws to climb the mountain. At the end, she said, I appreciate my life. All these make me like appreciate my life, my team. Nirvere, oh my gosh. She has a lot of beautiful language with a great pride, feeling like on the top of the world. Robust. I forgot that word very long, but that's very good, bold, very nice word. Sleepy neighborhood into a deep slumber, trembling, shivering, lo and behold, consolable, mystery and mystical, shield and secure. Thank you, Nivere, for that. Amy, we can dream, we can hope with better training. On the evaluation, Amy also said, play with your voice. I like the word play with your voice. Chitra, breathe and breathe. Sunset and sunrise, which is again, it was, Michelle did that again too, on her part. Pristine water. Every time, only this one that I would like to say about grammar, every time I feel like stress, Chitra said that, I will suggest to say every time I feel stressed out. That I think will be better. Kevin, the heat, the smoke. Yasmin, bridge is to bridge, not to separate. Oh, hell yeah. Alice, I love and Alice say, just talking about the contradiction. It's flower, it's beautiful, but it's not on for her. The last thing is when Yasmin say Halloween horror and humor, bring humor out of horror. And the last word that I love is escalation. Instead of elevate, she used escalation. That is also a good word. For grammar, I just want to mention a little bit for Excel. Excel, you can your grammar is sometimes okay, sometimes not. But the thing is, pronounce it for the past and the present. Sometimes you get confused. Let's be better with this. And then the second one, when on pronunciation, I love when you do it slowly. So keep up the good work, because when you say it slowly, we can hear that good. I think that's all my grammarian report, and back to you, Ruku.
Thank you so much, Miss Ayu, for your grammarian report. Now, I would like to call our melodious counter, Alice, to tell us about the and ohms we used.
Thank you, Kaya. I didn't notice any as and des, and most of the speakers were okay with that, except maybe from Gabby, which does many as. I would suggest that you take a big breath before you speak, and think of all the sentence before you speak it. So you won't do this as when you speak in the sentence. And Amy, some ends as a filler word. There are too many ends. The others were okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Alice. Now, I would like to call our timer of the day, Mary Pearson, to give us a report on how we all managed our given time.
Thank you, General Evaluator. First, I'd like to commend our speaker number one, Ishel. Thank you for sharing your memories of rock climbing and trekking. You were so engrossed in the speech that you went way beyond our time, but the audience was equally as engrossed in your story, so we really didn't mind it. But you went 8 minutes and 30 seconds, so quite a bit over the time. Hopefully you were able to see my background, but I think people might have had trouble with that. Also, Nirvana shared some memories from Halloween past. I thought it was a wonderful story, and she was within the time of 6 minutes and 49 seconds. And if my memory serves me correctly, I have quite a few table topics responses. You remember that is 1 to 2 minutes. Amy, 2 minutes and 16 seconds, but in the 30-second range. Citra, 1 minute 50 seconds in the range. Kevin, 1 minute 21 seconds in the range. Yasmin, 1 minute 7 seconds within the range. Ayu, 1 minute 30 seconds within the range. Michelle, 2 minutes and 12 seconds, so slightly over, but still within that 30-second grace period. Alice, 1 minute 10 seconds. That was our table topics one. So we did very well on the table topics. Great responses and great keeping to the time. Then our two evaluators. Remember that time range is 2 to 3 minutes. And I should be saying, the memory somehow instead of remember. But Amy, slightly over with 3 minutes and 15 seconds, but in that 30 second range. Yasmin, slightly over. I think at the end, trying to wind up with the conclusion. So it was 3 minutes and 39 seconds. That concludes my timers report. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, the timer of the day. Now, moving on to the table topics. Very, very beautiful table topics, Mr. Tiger. Perfect photographs to get the respondents down the memory lane. The response also was so amazing, so overall a great job. The meeting overall was very effective, very fun-filled and very interesting. And with this, I would like to conclude my general evaluation and hand it over to our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Reku. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for today's season. I pass the screen to our President, Aju and Antia. The audience is yours, and Aju. Hey.
Congratulations, Roseburg speaker and storytellers. Again, one more meeting, a successful one. And I would like to thank everyone for being here. All the role takers, you're all awesome. And special for Kevin, since Kevin here. Not every time we will have Kevin around in the meeting. So Kevin, congratulations for being Area Director of the Year. Yay!
And thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you all voting for me. It's an honor. When I received the award, I tell you, it was a surprise. It's a beautiful, kind of a rectangular shape, acrylic trophy. It's with some nice, beautiful inscription. If you want to see what it really looks like, go to the Toastmaster website, look up shop, and then look up awards, and you'll see what it looks like. It's very beautiful. Thank you very much, though, all of you.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for being here today, too. And with that, I would like to give to Yasmin her 5 minutes. Over to you, Yasmin.
Thank you very much. And yet again, as you all know, it's the time to fill up for the next week. I have to just highlight that many of you, if you are not already aware, we need to have at least 2 levels completed in case you are aiming for competitions, the contests to come in, that is the speech contests, which are coming soon to say in. We are hoping to have it organized in our club by January. And this is to have you all informed that in case you are aiming to participate, please make sure that you have the eligibility, which is at least 2 pathways completed. So this is a special call for all those interested to please take up the speech slots and make sure that you have your project 2 levels, not 2 pathways, but 2 levels of a particular pathway completed. With this, please, speakers, anyone interested who is, I have seen a request from Kevin as well to enroll for the pathway. So Kevin, please do it at earliest. I know you want to enroll for pathway and want to give an icebreaker. So let me know your availability. Would you be available next week or anytime in near future? Okay, Michelle?
I can try next week. What I need to do is I need to prepare for an icebreaker, considering that this is kind of a new club. We got a lot of new members and probably a lot of people don't really know who I am. So this would be a good opportunity for me to kind of break a little bit of ice and kind of introduce myself and tell you all about who I am. So I'm going to go ahead and next week, why don't we try 2 weeks? 2 weeks from now,
Sure.
I'll do an icebreaker speech.
Sure. Okay. I take note of this, Kevin. So I'll put you for a speaker next week. Okay?
Yes,
Michelle?
Yasmin, since I begged off this time, I will be on the speaker roster next week if you have space.
Sure. So I will include you for 18th October. Any other volunteers? Anyone? Yes, Ishel?
As evaluator.
You want to be an evaluator. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I request Ishel to be my evaluator?
It's
Because she's
already,
very good with photographs.
Okay, thank you. It was my pleasure.
it's already the case. I just put Michelle and Michelle together. So one speaker and one evaluator. Okay. I just check with the others here. Alice, any particular role that interests you for next week?
I'll take anything you give me.
Okay. Do you want to have a speech?
What did you say?
Do you want to have a speech next week? Do you want to prepare for
I
it?
believe that I have the two.
Pathway, the 2 levels completed.
Yes, but I will try not for next week. I will try
Next to next. So Kevin
next
and
week.
Alice, I will include for next to next week. But then I will. Would you be interested in table topic master, Alice?
Okay.
Okay. So I will include Alice as the table topic master. I see Rukaiya is dropped out, or she's here. Okay. Gabby, any role that interests you for next week?
If you want the timer or a counter?
Okay, so I will include you as timer. Mary?
I'm sorry, I'll be traveling next Monday.
Okay. Amy, I don't know if how is your availability, but would you like to?
Yeah, I can be here next week. Yeah.
Okay. So
Toastmaster of the day.
yeah, I just need to check with her. Are you okay to take up as TMOD, Amy?
Okay.
Okay, super. So then I'll
I
include
love
you.
your creativity, Amy.
Okay, so Amy, you'll have to think of a theme. Let me know once you have some theme in mind, or if you have, you can already share. So TMOD is Amy, table topic master is Alice. For timer, I have Gabby, and one speaker, Michelle, evaluator, Ishel. Anyone who is amongst us, Tiger, any preferred role?
I recommend that you get our guest a roll so she'll come back.
So
Citra?
Citra, you are on the pointer now. Would you be willing to take up as grammarian, Citra? We don't hear you. Yeah, or an evaluator, either of one.
I haven't been an evaluator per grammar yet. Hi, okay, I'll try. I can.
Okay,
Yeah,
super.
our grammarian is actually word of the day, Chitra, and beautiful language of usage, beautiful language usage. That is
Or
particular.
phrases.
Yes, that's the most one. If you can pick up any grammar or pronunciation, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try.
Yeah, you'll be the first one.
Okay.
Hey, Citra.
You would like to take up as a speech or evaluation?
If anyone have a speech, and I will be ready for evaluating. Will be ready for be evaluator.
Okay. I take note of this, and I think I have reached out to all of us who are here. And in case I have any available role, I will check with the other colleagues, other RSS members. And with this, I give it back to you, Ayub. Thank you, and thank you all for always being so proactive.
Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you, everybody. Let's just adjourn the meeting now. And if any one of us would like to say something, we can say it after the meeting adjourned. Just a chit chat one. Thank you, and meeting adjourned.